Welcome to Whachacha's Tabletop World, a channel devoted to the love of board gaming. My name is Sweetness Whachacha, and today I'm attempting to figure out whether or not I should back, or pre-order I guess, this new anniversary box for one of my favorite games, Orleans. Okay, so I saw this anniversary box. I think I'm a little late to the punch on this. I was kind of taking a little break from gaming for a while, and when I came back I saw this amazing box. I love this game so much. It's one of my top 10 games of all time. I play through all the scenarios, you know, all the little modules and things in the invasion box. That's all I have at the moment, which is the invasion box, which is the big expansion, as big as the base game, and of course just the base game. So now this anniversary box, you know, these are really appealing. They're, you know, if you love the game, it's amazing, right? That's just the enhanced components, all the things that they offer. However, there's a trade-off. You know, they're an expense, and they're also, you're buying a game that you already own, right? So it's sort of then maybe, well, you think, oh, well, I could just sell the one I have, but you know, you can't really, you know, it's not always that easy. You don't always get very much money for it. Sometimes, you know, so it's a decision. Okay, so let's just take a look at what's in the box for the anniversary box. First of all, you get, of course, the base game. Then you get all the expansions. You get Invasion, you get Trade and Intrigue, you get the Plague, which is a new one. And then you get all the promo packs. Now, these are often things that when I was first starting gaming, I was like, yes, I like the game, I need the promo, you know? And they get pretty expensive pretty quick. It is one of the benefits there, though, is that you do get to support Board Game Geek. It's one of the ways they make money and stuff like that. So it is kind of a cool little thing, you know, like a little $5 card or $5 tile or whatever. And so there's a few of these packs, but they're all included in this pre-order, in this box. You're going to get reworked art on everything, you know, which is nice to get things streamlined. Invasion, when it came out, you know, they had alterations to the map, you know, depending on the player count and stuff. And there's certain, you know, you put trading houses in certain areas. My friend Jesse and I would play this, and we would put little stickers on the areas, so we didn't have to think about it every time we wanted to play the invasion scenario. And this is nice. You flip the board over, and you've got, you know, now you've got that's all set up, because now with their hindsight, they can go back and fix those things that they never really planned for, which is great. So there's like some cleaning up of the artwork and stuff, which is really good. Then you're going to get wooden meeples for the traders and the little houses, and you're going to get all wooden components for the workers, right? Now, I prefer, now that's great, they look great, but this is not as exciting to me, you know, the little wooden meeples. I prefer, for this game, I mean, the game to game, right? But this particular game, I've had a chance to play with the Geek Up set, which, if you're not familiar, they're like a thick plastic piece with the artwork right on there. So those are they're really nice. I don't need them for every game, but some games, you know, this game in particular, it can be very easy to place your cardboard chit on the board, and you're looking at the board and you just kind of look over it. It might be kind of hard to see. So it's nice to have a little elevation there. I have thought about, in some games you can put coin holders over them. Maybe I'll do a little video on this at some point. But you can put little coin holders over them. That will give them a little elevation, which allows you to see them a little bit easier. But the Geek Bit set is very nice. I haven't bought it yet at this point, even though I've always kind of wanted it, because, you know, I mainly play this game solo. There's a solo scenario. There's the invasion scenario. I have played a considerable amount of it, not solo, but even just two players, a lot of the components kind of go to waste. And, you know, I feel like I can kind of buy a new game, or I can buy these Geek Bits. So I passed on that for so far. Okay, so yeah, you're going to get these wooden components, which are nice, but I prefer personally the Geek Bits on this issue. You're going to get a big storage box to contain everything, which sounds like obvious. You're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? But this has become kind of a big deal in the board gaming world, where people are paying like really expensive prices, like board game prices, just for storage boxes. These games start getting a little bit, well, let's not say bloated, but they start to get larger and larger if you get all the expansions for games that you really love, which, you know, it's nice to be able to store everything in the box. I kind of end up doing, like for Orleans, I just put kind of all the unneeded components I have for the extra player counts and things that I won't need into the invasion box, and then the normal box I put all the components I'll use on the regular basis. And so that's kind of a nice way to do it. I know for other people that's not quite the case, but putting it each in both of those two boxes fits most everything. But I mean, it's nice to have everything in the same spot. Now, extending on that, you are getting a nice insert for this. A lot of people like the inserts. you know, and people buy inserts. They spend really good money, you know, to buy inserts for some of their favorite games. And while this is kind of a cool thing, for me, like I just got a game recently, Kingdom Rush, it's kind of over there. And I was like, oh my God, it was like a nightmare to me. I'm like looking at this thing. So for me, I usually just take the inserts out, bag everything, throw it in. You know, Zombicide does this a lot, Cool Mini or Not. They give you these nice trays, which is great. But it's essentially like, it's like, hey, why don't you spend the next 2 hours putting this game away? I prefer to throw everything in a bag and throw all the bags into the box. And then I like to store my games vertically, like books, because it's you don't have to, you know, you can just take that one game out. You don't have to take the games above it out and then the game out. So I know that seems kind of funny, like maybe like a little like of a weird issue, but I don't prefer those. So that's not really important to me. Maybe that's something that's important to you. It's definitely a piece of value. People could spend 40, 50 bucks on a insert. So that's definitely worthwhile as well. If that's something you need. There's these nice bags. They're embroidered. It says embroidered. Most people probably wouldn't think about that, but embroidery is very nice. It's a big difference. It's a big jump in prices. It's kind of a surprise to me. Just from my business and stuff that I do, embroidery prices are really expensive. If you put like a patch on something or something like that, yeah, it looks fine, but the embroidery just looks really nice. You can wash something that's embroidered and it will not get ruined, faded, come out, whatever. It's really nice, and it is a lot more expensive in general when you get like an embroidered shirt versus like a screen printed shirt or something like that. So it is quite nice. Whether it's necessary, you know, that doesn't really change my life at all, honestly. So then you get metal coins. Now, metal coins are very nice. It's a very nice upgrade for a game. However, for me, you know, I look at it and I think, well, I buy one set of metal coins. I don't need metal coins in every game I own. That's a crazy expense. For me personally, I bought one set of metal coins and I have them in a little thing. Matches where I put my other components, a little dish bowl. And now I have metal coins for every single game I play. So I don't really need the metal coins. Fine, they're in there, whatever. Not a big deal. Wooden components, that's quite nice. That's another thing that costs a lot, that people pay a premium price for it. They're very nice. And as I said, you get the reworked artwork throughout, cleaned up on a lot of things, and then there's an additional scenario, promo buildings. Now, I like to buy my things. I like to support the game companies and things like that. I don't, you know, even if I didn't, it's a much bigger expense to print these things out or, you know, make them on your own. And, you know, I have made games like that are out of print before, like, and I'll print them out and sleeve them and stuff. And it's more money and a lot more work than buying the game just straight out. And it looks obviously amazingly better and stuff. So I don't really support that whole thing, but you know, like these buildings, I don't really care. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't need to be 100% completionist. It's not like I'm going to play the game and be like, I wish I had the tavern, you know, like this whatever building it is, you know, that they're including in the new building. There's enough here that you're going to play with. So I'd love to get them. You know, let's be honest, I really want to get them, but I can live if I don't get them. But it is nice that they added a couple of extras. So if you play the game a lot and you get this anniversary edition, which would be the only reason that you would probably get it, you'll get that extra stuff in there. Okay, so a whole nice big production, 200 euros, 199 euros, let's just say 200. I mean, to my eyes, like, you're getting all of the expansions and everything. I mean, right there, like, that's worth 200 euros, right? The wooden components, the cleaned up art. Oh, and I forgot to mention the instruction booklet. Whoa, what a big deal that is. A nice fat instruction booklet that's got all of them. Now, I've played games like Escape, The Curse of the Temple, and I've got like all these I must have like 30 promos for this game that I bought over the years. And it's all a mess, you know, it's just a mess of papers. Which one is this? Where is this? Having everything in one instruction booklet, man, that is a really nice deal. So I forgot to mention the instruction booklet. Now, my math on this, I think about it and I'm like, okay, well, I already own, you know, the base game and Invasion, which is about $130. Thereabout, somewhere like that. So 200 euro, in my mind, I'm like, well, for an extra 70 bucks, essentially, in my mind, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm thinking, well, that's a great deal. Why would you not do that? Like, you're going to get all this extra stuff, enhanced components, all this stuff. Easy, yes. Pull the trigger for sure. So I looked at that and I thought I should definitely do that. Okay, but now when I've gone to add it to the cart and stuff, now here's when, you know, the reality situation comes in. Number one, I said $200 versus 200 euros. Well, that's a big deal. This is one of those instances where you, being in America, I'm a U.S., this is a U.S.-based thing. For me, we have a lot of advantages. I cannot imagine living in Australia and being a gamer. That is like some kind of amazing punishment for your wallet, for your time, for your life, everything. Very difficult. So I'm on the other end of this now because, number one, there is a conversion rate. Okay, so you got to convert 200 euro to US dollars. That's an unfavorable thing for the US dollar. Secondly, there's a VAT. There's $45, 42 euro VAT. Okay, that's the taxes that you have to pay. And then the shipping. Now, shipping has kind of gotten pretty crazy over the years, especially after the pandemic. That was a huge problem with that. And now shipping is still quite high. When I went all in like a lunatic on the Zombicide for Marvel, the Marvel Zombicide thing, and because I wanted Galactus so bad. And $170 in shipping that whole thing cost me, which is absolutely absurd. But you just get into it. You get in anyway, but that's a whole other story. $70 or 70 euros, to ship this game. So now, when you add the shipping, the VAT, and then you do the conversion, this game is now a $350 game. So now, I'm pumping the brakes. So we've nearly doubled the price, okay, from the perceived $200, right, which was not really $200. But even still, I mean, the game, you're paying half again over half again with the shipping and the VAT. Additionally, there's a little troubling box on the website that said, hey, you're going to be responsible for any third-party things, any customs charges, it's like this sort of disclaimer that they have on there that you're supposed to click. But that kind of makes me nervous, because, through work and stuff, we have some options, my wife and I, for our business to buy certain things, and you can get them landed and you pay the customs charges and things like that. And so it's not out of the question where you could all of a sudden find yourself with some additional fee you didn't even know about. Now, that's a risk to take. It might just be some disclaimer that never comes in, but it definitely made me a little nervous, so I wanted to highlight it as well. Okay, so now we've got a $350 item, which is a pretty significant amount of money. I mean, you think about it if the average game, and game prices have been climbing for sure, but the average game through most of my gaming life has been about $60 for a normal, standard, middle of the road kind of game, about $60. That's a lot of $60 games. That's almost six $60 games. So is getting this upgraded version with some of these extras and wonderful little things worth 6 other games? That's a big question over my head. I mean, I really want the anniversary box. It's gorgeous. It's got everything all nice and streamlined and just chef's kiss, right? But that's a big expense. Now, I missed out on the Suburbia box, which is why I was really kind of questioning this. But I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just think about what comes down is the gameplay, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that were extras that didn't really necessarily mean a lot to me. So I went through and I was like, look, what if I got the Geek Bit set, which I really like, and the 6 expansions from Board Game Geek. So it's $70, okay? And I can help out Board Game Geek a little bit. That's pretty cool. The Trade and Intrigue and the Plague, well, that's $54 retail. That's full retail. Sometimes you can get them at a little bit of discount if you shop online. My FLG, as my local gaming shop, is where I like to go. That's the whole thing with this stuff too. Is it crazy? Is that I'm a kind of guy that likes to go in and just buy the thing from the game shop. All these Kickstarters, pre-orders, all this stuff. It's kind of crazy to me. I'm not a big fan of that whole model, but I can understand why this would only be available through them. It's a specialty item for sure. But anyway, so between getting the Geek Bit set, which is an extra thing, all the 6 expansions, that's $70, $54 retail for the Trade and the new Plague. That's $54. So now I'm at about roughly $130, right, after maybe some shipping and things. If you added the 2, if you didn't have any of it, the other 2, you'd be up to $250. So for me, $130 versus $350, and I get the nice Geek Bits. I think that's probably worth it for me. The $250, if you don't, you're still saving $100. Is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not. I'm missing out on the wooden meeples, but I've got the Geek Bit. I'm missing out on the insert. That's okay. Remarked maps and player boards, I'll probably never notice that. I mean, it is, I'm sure it's nice. The combined rulebook, that's a little sad. Metal coins, I have them. A couple extra tiles, whatever. Life is about compromise. You got to look at everything and look at the, pluses and minuses to everything. And I think for me, I'm going to pass on this. I did, however, a friend of mine, now there's a free Essen pickup for this. And a friend of mine told me over the weekend that they're going to Essen. And I thought to myself, like, maybe, maybe you could ship this thing back to me. But that's a big ask. It's a big box. Hey, can you bring this back on the plane with you? I mean, that's craziness. I can't ask somebody to do that for me. I don't know. Some people thought about, I think I saw some little bit about some people thinking about pooling and for a big, buy to get into the States or whatever. But yeah, for me, that's where I came down on it. I'm just going to buy the Geek sets. Some people said they had some trouble finding them. They look like they're all in stock at the moment on the Board Game Geek store. So yeah, I'm gonna treat myself to that. And also, this is a great way to rationalize things to yourself, or to your partner. With my wife, I'm like, hey, well, I was gonna get the $350 thing, but now I'm just getting the $130. So it's like I'm making money. This could be a good strategy starting out. You could like think 3 chess moves ahead, and you kind of want to buy the Geek Up set and the extra expansions and things, and then you set it up like you're going to buy this thing. It's a little naughty, but it's not a bad strategy. Okay, well, hopefully, I don't know, did this help you? Did this not help you? I don't know. Maybe hopefully it's enjoyable in some fashion for you or helpful in some fashion. For now, I gotta roll.